Hello there, this is DBT and these are the runes. And alright, let's continue talking about Asphalt Legends. And I say talking because today we're gonna be checking out the entirety of the patch notes for the new season that will be starting next week, Holiday Overdrive. And when I say that we're gonna be checking out the entirety of the patch notes, I do mean it. It's gonna be a long one, so bring some popcorn, a drink, get comfy, because this is gonna take a while. But before I get into it, if you enjoy my content, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. Doing these things helps the channel to continue to grow, it keeps me going, and it allows me to continue making this content for you. So go ahead, like and subscribe for some more Asphalt Legends right here. And remember that once we hit the 25,000 subscriber mark, I'm gonna be doing a 12-hour live stream of roomy games, Asphalt Legends included. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and help me get to this amazing milestone. But alright. As I always do in this video, I'm gonna divide it into a bunch of little topics, or specifically I'm gonna set it up in chapters so that you can jump to whichever matters the most to you. But let's get this started because like I said, it's a long one. And as I mentioned, it's the Holiday Overdrive, and it reads, it's that time of the year again, where we rev our engines in unison to try to drown out All I Want for Christmas playing everywhere. And we're continuing the Asphalt holiday tradition of bringing some heavy hitters for the end of the year, including the next chapter of our Draft Syndicate and a brand new track. And here's the preview for the Draft Syndicate 13. The next chapter in the saga, don't miss out, as this episode will feature the 𝐎𝐸 Aurora Agil and the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 Chimera. Or is it Chimera? I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. But yeah, there's already with 2 of the new cars that are coming in the game. Then we have over here the information about the new track. Now granted, GameLoft already did a preview of this thing. They released a video showing the track and whatnot. I'll put the link in the top right if you want to watch that. Otherwise, do let me know in the comments if you want me to make a video specifically talking about the track, what we see in it and whatnot. It's not included in this video because it's going to be long already. But yeah, let me know if you want me to make a video dedicated to the track itself, at least from the previews that we have as content creators. Moving on, we got what's going to be the new Evo car. The Lamborghini Murcielago is joining the Evo ranks, and keep your eyes peeled for the free try of Evo events. So yeah, this time around we only have one new Evo car, the Lambo Murcielago. Kinda cool that we have a Lambo Evo now. But no more cars added with the Evo system, but then again there's some changes to a couple of the cars, we'll see that a little bit later. Moving on, we got the Jingle All The Way. It's the holidays. Don't miss out on the new Jingle All The Way spotlight and participate in our yearly tradition, the Asphalt Treasure Hunt. Find a new reward each day hidden in a specific track. Will you find them all? So, right before we move any further, we already know what happened with the last spotlight event. We were all disappointed, so hopefully this is gonna be better. So hey, we can only hope. There's a cool decal over here, so hey, at least there's that. But alright, moving on, we have the new cars, and oh boy, this is where it gets interesting. We begin with the 𝐇𝐨𝐥𝐲 Eon E, or Aeon, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, but here it is. It's a Class S car of 6 stars, maximum rank of 5106. And having a look at the stats, we have a pretty fast Class S car with some really great acceleration. The handling is bad, and the nitro is even worse. And thinking about this car in particular, this is actually found, or would be found, somewhere between the 𝐎𝐸 Aurora Tur and the Venom F5. But the performance itself, it's actually somewhat comparable in a way to that of the Bolide. So here's the comparison between the two, just so that you can check them out. The 𝐇𝐨𝐥𝐲 on the left, the Bugatti Bolide on the right side, and you can see that it's kind of similar. The speed is basically the same, the acceleration is better on the 𝐇𝐨𝐥𝐲, the handling it's better on the Bolide, and the nitro it's worse on the 𝐇𝐨𝐥𝐲. So we have basically like a Bolide with better acceleration, but worse handling and worse nitro. So this is definitely gonna be an even more extreme version of the Bugatti Bolide, because man, that 25 nitro, it's gonna be pain. Alright, moving on, we have the second new car, which is gonna be the Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG Coupe Touring Car DMT, which over here just shows as Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG DTM, and I'm just gonna call it the C63 because Jesus Christ, that name. Anyway, here's the stats of the car at gold, and we have that it's a Class C car of 5 stars, maximum rank of 3773, and having a look at the stats, we have a top speed of 322, which is okay for Class C, acceleration of 80.81, which is also okay, handling and nitro. In general, I think it's better to compare this car against another one that it's very similar when it comes to the stats, and that is going to be the Ferrari 599XX Evo. That's right, this car is somewhat comparable to that. If you look, the speed is basically the same. The acceleration is basically the same. The handling is where the Ferrari actually is considerably better by about 11 points, and the nitro it's very similar as well. So we have a car that, at least when it comes to the stats, is kind of comparable to the 599XX Evo, and I think just about everybody knows that that car is quite powerful for Class C. So there's some hope that this new Mercedes is also going to be quite interesting when it comes to the actual performance. And speaking of the current comparisons, this is going to be found in the garage between the 718 Cayman and the Corvette Stingray, which would make this into a mid-high Class C car. But moving on, we have the, oh boy, speaking of long names, Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Red Eye Wide Body. And here's the stats at gold. We have a Class C car of 5 stars, maximum rank of 3518. And once again, here's the stats. But when it comes to where would you find this car in the garage, that would be between the Jaguar XESV Project 8 and the Ferrari F40, which makes this into a mid-class C. But let's have a look at what it compares to when it comes to the stats, and it's precisely the Jaguar. You can see the ranks are somewhat similar. The top speed is a little bit higher on the Dodge Challenger. The acceleration is better on the Jaguar, the handling it's a tiny bit better on the Charger, and the nitro a tiny bit better on the Jaguar. So you can see that it's a little bit of give and take between these two, that the stats are somewhat similar overall. Some are better, some are worse, but in general I think it's relatively balanced compared to that. So that should give you a bit of an idea on how that's gonna perform. Now when it comes to the car itself, well, it's kind of cool that now we have a Charger in the game, so if you ever wanted to drive a Charger, well, now you have an opportunity. But alright, moving on, we have the McLaren 750S Coupe, or I should call it the McLaren number, because we have another one of these that is just numbers. But okay, I'm fine. This is a problem that I have with McLaren, not with the car added in the game, but regardless. This is a Class B car, 5-star maximum rank of 3996. And having a look at the stats, well, once again, I think it's better if we put it in comparison against another car of a somewhat similar rank, and that is going to be the Apollo Intensa Emozione. It's a bit of a peculiar case though. As you can see, the top speed on the McLaren 757, oh god, I hate these numbers. The McLaren, it's a tiny bit better than that of the Apollo IE. The acceleration is a little bit worse by about 1 point. Handling, it's worse by, 8 points, and nitro also worse by about 2 points. So really the only advantage that this car has over the Apollo IE, it's half a kilometer of speed, and yet it's higher ranked than the Apollo IE. Is this an indicator of anything? Honestly, I don't know. It could be that maybe this car is somewhat floaty, who knows? But yeah, I thought the Apollo IE is a fantastic car to compare it to, because at the end of the day it's the same idea. Pretty decent speed, pretty good acceleration, and the rest of the stats are there, you know? At least it looks like it's gonna be a decent car. Once you know how you acquire this car, you're gonna be like, oh, that's not bad after all. Now, where would you find this car? That would be in between the Lamborghini Reventon and the Ferrari Enzo Ferrari, which makes this into a mid-high Class B car. But alright, let's get to our next car, which is gonna be the Zenvo Aurora Agile. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce that, but that's my best guess. And we have that this is a Class A car of 6-star maximum rank of 4531. That actually puts it right between the Aston Martin Valhalla and the Pagani Imola, which makes it into a very high Class A. However, it's not an elite car, just keep that in mind. And since we just mentioned the Imola, we might as well compare it to the Imola because, well, you know that the Imola is kind of like the king of Class A, so let's see how this compares. So the Zenvo Aurora Agile, however you pronounce that, the rank is quite similar. The speed is a little bit higher than the Imola. The acceleration is considerably better by about 3 points, though the handling it's a little bit lower by 2 points, and the nitro considerably lower by 7 points approximately. So yeah, this is faster, better acceleration, but at the cost of a bunch of nitro. Now, if it's anywhere as agile as the Pagani Imola is, we may have another proper king of Class A in our hands right here. So that will be definitely interesting to see how this car actually performs once it's maxed out. And I do want to take a second to talk about the design of the car because, man, I didn't mention that because, by the way, the number, if the name sounds somewhat familiar, it's because we already have the Zenvo Aurora Tour, which is Class S car and all that stuff, whatever. I'm not going to talk about that. But I did say when that car was added that I would have preferred for the �𝐸𝐲𝐝 to be added because this is the one with the wing and all of that. Well, we have it and it's not Class S, it's Class A instead. But it's going to be a bit of a tough one. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. For now, let's move to our next car, which is going to be the 𝐸𝐸𝐲𝐝𝐫𝐈𝐸𝐸𝐸, or is it 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐸? Whatever it is. I'm going to say 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸, but 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸, whatever. It's fine. It's a Class S car, 6-star, maximum rank of 5239. Now, that puts it between the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 Absolute and the Devel 16, straight up making it into an elite Class S car. And well, as I read a little bit earlier, this is going to be Drive Syndicate car, so no surprise that it's going to be an elite car. And oh boy, let's have a look at those stats because this thing looks very, very promising. Just by looking at the stats themselves, we have that it's a pretty fast car at 511 kilometers. We have an acceleration of 83, almost 84, pretty strong. Handling of 66, pretty good. And Nitro 46, it's pretty decent as well. And when it comes to comparing it to another car of similar stats, well, it is no surprise that I'm going to be comparing it against the Venom F5. Now, you can see that the speed of the F5, it's a tiny bit faster by literally 1 exact kilometer. So there's that. But the acceleration of the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸, it's better by 3 points. The handling, it's way better by 17 points. That's a lot. And the Nitro, it's better by 1 point. So in general, the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 definitely looks to be a much stronger car, in theory, than the Venom, because a much better handling and considerably better acceleration could make it into a really powerful car. Now, once again, it remains to be seen if it's going to be as agile as the Venom is, because you know that the Venom, it's very strong for a bunch of reasons, including that speed, but it's also because it's so ridiculously agile, the drift and all that stuff. So if the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 also has the same physics as the Venom, man, we may just have another king in the game in our hands right here. And again, considering that is the Drive Syndicate car, it should be no surprise. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. And by the way, quick random fact, because I was really curious about this. I did not know that this car existed. I never heard about the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸. So I had to look it up, and turns out that this car is actually in body a 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 Agera RS. It has the body of a 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 Agera RS. But what's special about it is that they put a 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 𝐸SCO engine in it. So it's a bit of a mixture between the RS and the 𝐸SCO. And yeah, it's a one-off, I believe. So that's the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸, in case you were curious and you were wondering, why does it look like the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 Agera RS? Well, because it uses the same body. But yeah, thought it was interesting. Anyway, let's move on. Then our last new car is going to be the LEGO Technic Bugatti Chiron PureSport. Right. I know that not everybody's going to be excited about it. In fact, a lot of people don't like the LEGO Technic cars in the game. But you know, it is what it is. We have a new one. And actually, this one looks to be a pretty good one at that. This is a Class S car of 6 stars at a maximum rank of 4764. Here's the stats of the car. And when it comes to what it can compare to, it's actually a car that is right next to, because this car you will find somewhere between the regular Bugatti Chiron and the Bugatti Divo, sandwiched between Bugattis. And it compares precisely with the Bugatti Divo. Here's the stats. We have that the speed is a tiny bit better of the Divo by about 2 kilometers. The acceleration is better of the Divo by 1 point approximately. The handling is almost the same, and the Nitro is almost the same. So it's basically the Bugatti Divo, but a tiny little bit worse, and that reflects on the rank. You can see that the difference, it's only of, how much is that, like 9 points? So yeah, very similar to the Divo. And again, if it's somewhat agile, this could be a fun car to drive around, so there is that. Now, if you're curious, how does this car compare against the regular Chiron PureSport? Well, here's the comparison of those two. You can see that there's definitely some difference. In general, you can just surmise that the LEGO version of the car, it's the somewhat weaker version of the regular one. By the way, that is wrong. The rank is not 7821. That would be 4821. I don't know why I wrote it like that, but okay, whatever, it's fine. So yeah, you can see that the handling on the regular Chiron PureSport, it's way better, though the Nitro on the LEGO version, it's better. So again, it's a little bit of a give and take, though the acceleration difference is quite considerable. So yeah, I just thought it was interesting to see the comparison between these two. But anyway, so those are going to be the new cars, and man, I'm excited for a couple of them, but I'll come back to this topic. For now, let's get into the Holiday Overdrive Season special events, and we begin with the Lamborghini Murcielago Evo special event running from the 11th of December till the 21st. A special event to help welcome our latest Evo car, max it out to unlock the new options and start collecting Evo pieces. So yeah, this is just gonna be for you to make some more progress in the Evo parts and all of that. Then we got the Mercedes-AMG 1 Grand Prix from the 15th of December till the 31st. Time to get competitive with the AMG 1, which is again a Grand Prix that we had in the past, so this is a repeat, but maybe this is gonna be your opportunity to get the car, so hey, why not? But then finally we get the information about the Drive Syndicate 13 running from the 16th of December to the 18th. And this is gonna feature the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Red Eye White Body, the classic car that I mentioned earlier. That is gonna be the starting car for the Drive Syndicate, so that is the car that probably, I think just about everybody will be able to get for free easily. So hey, Dodge Charger for everybody. From there we get the Nissan Z GT4, which is an Elite Class C. But it was very easy to acquire some seasons ago, so probably a lot of people are gonna have it, so that's kind of cool. We have also the McLaren Solus GT, which for me is kind of cool because maybe I'll have the opportunity to get this key. I have this car at 4 stars in some, so I'm really looking to get the key for this thing. Then after that, we got the Zenvo Aurora Agile. That is gonna be the Class A car of the Drive Syndicate, and this might be where a lot of people are gonna be some trouble in making progress. But hey, if you have these 2 cars plus this thing, we might just have in our hands the possibility to get the Zenvo Aurora Agile, at least Agile, at 1 star, but hey, we'll see. After that, we got the Bugatti Bolide, huge jump over there. We go straight into the Bolide as the support car, and finally the last one, of course, is going to be the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 race in draft syndicates unless it's a super giving one, but I doubt it. Anyway, we move to the Jingle All The Way Spotlight from the 22nd of December to the end of January. Our merriest of spotlights will feature the Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300 Plus as the main class S car. We're gonna have the Trion Nemesis, the 𝐸𝐸𝐲𝐸𝐶 007S, the Porsche 911 Turbo 50 years, and the Mercedes-Benz Show Car Vision something something. So, as I mentioned earlier, we know what happened in the last Spotlight event that was super terrible. There's some hoping here that Gameloft did end up learning or understanding how much people disliked it, and hopefully this one is gonna be better. Either way, the cars that are featured this time around, I personally don't find them super excited because I don't care about a bunch of these. I guess the thing I care the most about is the 𝐸𝐸𝐲𝐸𝐶 007S, simply because it's a car that I'm missing the key for. That's the Class A one, right? I hope I'm not confusing it the last time, but whatever. That is, see, this is what happens when brands just name their cars number. I hate it so much. If you were to ask me right now what McLaren number I was talking about earlier, I have no idea because there's so many McLaren number. Okay, whatever, rant over. Let's move on because otherwise I'm gonna get stuck here for a while. All right, we got the time limited events, and oh boy, this is where things get a little bit interesting. And I say that because you're gonna see this best of 2025 in a bunch of versions as I read through this, so yeah. This is gonna be running for only a couple of days from the 12th to the 14th of December, and it reads, we'll have 5 rapid fire events featuring the best of 2025. First round will feature the Chimera Evo 37, the Porsche 911 50 years Porsche design, the Praga Bohema, Lego Technic Chevrolet Corvette Stingray, the FV Frangivento GT65, which is the Class B one, the Ferrari 499P Modificata, and the HTT Locus Plethora LC750. Now I'm gonna make a pause over here because I don't know exactly what this means when they're saying that there's gonna be these events and whatnot. Obviously, it's gonna be just an event where probably within the event you might be able to get a few blueprints, like a couple, maybe 3, 5, who knows. So I don't imagine it's gonna be so much about getting blueprints over there, but I wonder if each one of these events is gonna contain or it's gonna have a pack in the shop with the blueprints for the cars featured over there. So that would be interesting. Those would be multi-packs, but I don't know, maybe it will be the opportunity for some people to get blueprints for some cars if they're interested in those in particular. Then we got the Evo ranked Ferrari SF90 Stradale from the 11th till the 17th of December. Get competitive and test your builds aboard the Ferrari SF90 Stradale. So yeah, I imagine that this is gonna be indeed an event to get a few rewards here and there, probably some more of the Evo parts for the Stradale, but we'll see. Then we go into the best of 2025 number 2, running from the 15th till the 17th. And that's gonna be the Toyota GR Supra 2023, the Hyundai Ioniq N5, the Toyota GT Super Sport Concept, the Ford GT Mark IV, the Lexus Electrified Sport Concept, the Hyundai Envision 74, and the SSC Tuatara Striker. Then we get the Aston Martin 177 Star Hunt from the 15th till the 25th. Get those stars before the epic hunt comes. We got the best of 2025 number 3 with the Toyota GR Supra Racing Concept, the Nissan Z GT4, Formula E Gen 3 Evo Championship Edition, Lego Technic McLaren Senna GTR, Lego Technic Aston Martin Valkyrie, the Mercedes AMG 1, and the SEC Ultimate Aero. Moving on, we got the Evo Rank Chevrolet Corvette running from the 18th to the 24th. Get the best time possible with your Evo build aboard the ZR1. So again, it's another Evo ranked competition. So there's that. We got the December Solstice from the 19th to the 22nd. Race under the longest night of the year aboard the Pagani Huayra R. Then we got Best of 2025 number 4 with the DS Servolt, the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta, the Lego Technic Lambo Revuelto, the Lego Technic Ferrari FXXK, the Pagani Zonda Cinque, Arash Imperium, Mercedes-Benz Silver Lightning, and the Muslar Super GT. So again, if there's gonna be packs for blueprints over here, imagine the range over here. You could get some blueprints for the Servolt or for the Arash Imperium. Quite the range over here. But anyway, then we got the last one of the best of 2025 from the 24th of December to the 26th. Our final in the series featuring the Lotus Emeya, the Aston Martin DBS 770 Ultimate, the BMW M Hybrid V8, the Pininfarina V95, the Ford Mustang. I was gonna say Ford Mustang. Okay, sure. RTR, we got the Racer Aglaia and the Koenigsegg 1-1. Then the holiday event with the McLaren 600 LT Spider, the Fenner, and the 812, the Ferrari F12 Superfast, running from the 25th till the 1st of January. We got the Aston Martin 177 Epic Hunt from the 25th till the 5th of January, which is going to be hunting for epics for the 177, which, again, for a lot of people, myself included, maybe this will be the opportunity to gold this car because, hey, why not? But yeah, moving on. We got the Evo ranked Ferrari SF90 Stradale from the 25th of December to the 25th to 31st. A second round to prove your stuff. So yeah, again, same thing as we saw earlier. Just a second round. Drifting away from 2025, 30th of December to the 7th of January. Welcome the new year aboard the Nissan GTR Neon Edition. Then we got the Evo Rank Chevrolet Corvette from the 1st to the 8th of January. Our first competitive event of the year gives you a second chance with the ZR1. So again, it's a repeat of what we did earlier, just a second round of it. Then we got Fly High from the 6th till the 12th of January. Fly High aboard the Ford GT Mark IV. And now this is the exciting part, the car hunts. And to top it all, blah, 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 car hunts. We have the Toyota GR Supra 2023 as the Legend Pass exclusive hunt. We're also going to have the Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR, the Pure Italia Berlinetta, but more importantly, we got a special hunt for the Koenigsegg CCXR. Yep, Koenigsegg special hunt. Now, as I always say, quick disclaimer, being a Class S car and being a special hunt, it means that you're gonna have to get all of the blueprints and all of the epics and apply all of them. And that is gonna cost you about 42.5 million credits. So there you go. Here's your warning that you need to be saving a bunch of credits because you're gonna need them if you wanna get a free Koenigsegg through a ton of grind. So yeah, save 42.5 million credits. You still have some time, so yeah, prepare for it. But anyway, yeah, I'm really excited about that because, hey, having the opportunity to get a high-class S car like that in a special hunt, man, I'm not gonna miss the opportunity to do it, and you shouldn't either. But all right, let's move on to other changes. And we got some pass info. As per usual, this season we also feature the Legend Pass, Ultimate Pass, and Jingle All the Way Spotlight Pass. Each will have their own benefits and rewards, but here's the feature card for each one. The Legend Pass car is gonna be the McLaren 705, no, it's the 750S Coupe, which is again the Class B car that I reviewed earlier, that I said that it was quite nice, somewhat comparable to the Apollo IE, and that's gonna be the Legend Pass car, so hey, that's kind of cool. Though I do imagine you're gonna be able to only 2-star within one Legend Pass, so you will need to get 2 Legend Pass in order to, you know how that works, but whatever. For the Ultimate Pass, we're gonna have the Koenigsegg CCXR. Now, here's a bit of a thing, all right? I know that I just mentioned that there's gonna be a special hunt for this car, so you might be like, then why do I want the Ultimate Pass car, the Ultimate Pass for? Well, it's a way to unlock the car without having to grind the event so much. So there's that if you want to consider it. And then we got the Spotlight Pass car, which is gonna be the Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300 Plus. That's gonna have the key for it. So what that tells us is that you're not gonna be able to unlock this car within the Spotlight unless you buy this thing. Or if they do add some strange condition in it that you can get the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐵, I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I think that this car is indeed locked behind the Spotlight Pass, but you know, it's fine. Well, it's not that fine, but you know how this works. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Again, I'm not gonna make many comments or predictions on how the Spotlight event is going to work, because again, the disappointment was huge last time, so all I can do right now is hope for the best, and we'll see how it goes. But anyway, let's move on to the Evo balancing. Thanks to all the extensive feedback, we'll be reining in a few of our Evo car stat boosts, as they seem to be punching higher than intended. We got the Ferrari F90 Stradale Evo. We're going to be reducing the boost provided by drivetrain pieces, particularly the overload version, as the acceleration boost provided was larger than intended. We'll also be toning down the air acceleration special pack. The combination of these were making the Stradale far too dominant in short tracks, so we toned down the boost and we'll continue to see how the car performs. Thank you, Game Love, thank you! And I think a lot of people are also going to be thankful for this. This car just was absolutely broken. You probably saw it a ton in multiplayer and in Gauntlet. Man, this car is absolutely ridiculous. So it's good to see that they're gonna be, you know, like they say, reining it back a little bit so that it doesn't become the new Vanda. Because that's what it was becoming already. The new Vanda, that it was just such a nightmare. But anyway, then we also have the Ferrari Enzo Ferrari Evo. The Enzo has gone under a bit of rework as we have made adjustment to both pieces as well as the archetypes themselves. We've balanced the performance amongst archetypes, and some were clearly outperforming, and also reducing the rank boost provided by the Evo bonuses in the process. We hope these changes will balance the playing field a bit, as although we want the Evo changes to also evolve how the car can be driven, they were far too dominant on a specific game mode. Gauntlet. So yeah, it's good to see that they're gonna be revising this, because like I said, the SF90 has been just ridiculous when it comes to the performance. So yeah, I'm kind of happy to see it being like, hey, let's chill, come on, let's not make it that great. As far as the Enzo, honestly, I haven't seen it to be that insanely powerful, but let me know in the comments if you have seen it being spammed or whatever, if it really is that powerful, because I don't know, I haven't seen that one that much. But anyway, then there's gonna be over here a bug fixes list. And I'm not gonna read all of them, so instead I'm just gonna keep them here on the screen. If you wanna read them, you can pause right here. Otherwise, let me scroll so you can see the bottom of it as well. And there you go, you can check it out if you wanna read them. But again, it's just, as usual, a bunch of things related to, hey, some problems with the UI, some problems with this, some problems with that, we fixed it and whatnot. Obviously, because I haven't experienced every single one of these bugs, I cannot talk about them, so yeah, there it is. But anyway, so that is basically it for the patch notes. Like I said, it's a lot of information, but I thought it was really interesting to have a look at the new cars. Obviously, that is, I think, what most people will be interested. Once again, having a quick look at them. When it comes to the 𝐇𝐨𝐥𝐲 Eon E, I imagine that the E stands for electric, so I'm not super excited to have another electric. But yeah, this is not going to be featured in the first season, so it's going to be on the second one. It remains to be seen how it's going to be acquired, though apparently it needs 40 blueprints to unlock, so at least it's not a key car. But I guess we'll see. It's probably just going to be a special event with a bunch of crazy cars as support. But hey, we'll have to see until that other season begins after the next. I'm interested on this car, but once again, it was not mentioned in the first season, so we're going to have to wait. So yeah, there's that. The Charger SRT again is going to be the first car in the Draft Syndicate, so just about everybody will be able to acquire it. This one is a 5-star car, so well, at least it's not as bad. Normally, the first Draft Syndicate car tends to be like a very low 4-star or 3-star car. No, I think it's normally 4-star, but over here at least is one that seems like it could be decent if you actually max it out in stars. The McLaren 750S Coupe, which is the Legend Pass car, which again, you know, for people who already get the Legend Pass, they're gonna get this car anyway, so good for them, I guess. The car, like I said, it seems pretty strong, but then again, if you already have the Apollo IE, you probably don't super need this car, but if you're a McLaren fan, well, happy days, I guess. The Zenbo Aurora Agile, which is a car that I'm very interested just in the looks alone, and I'm really crossing my fingers over here that I'm gonna be able to, at the very least, unlock it within the Draft Syndicate. So I'm gonna have to be playing that thing smart in order to try to get this thing, because hey, even if I only get it at 1-star, I would be happy with that, all right? I want it. It looks cool, and it has a wing, so yes. But like I said, when it comes to the performance, at least on paper, it looks like it could be a competitor to the Pagani Imola, but again, we will have to see in the actual races and whatnot to see if it's agile enough, or as the name says, agile. Sorry, it's just that agile literally it means agile, so whatever. And the Koenigsegg Chimera or Chimera or whatever it is, again, what seems to be a very strong car, it might be like the slightly better Hennessy Venom F5, only if it keeps the same physics and the same drift and all of that. Otherwise, you know, it looks like an okay car, but I mean, obviously quite strong. But if it doesn't quite perform like the Venom F5, well, you know, it's just gonna be a very good car, not a king. And once again, finally, the Bugatti, which not a lot of people are gonna be excited to have. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. I've said it before, I'm not a huge fan on these Lego cars in the game. I don't dislike them like some people do. I don't hate them, but I don't love them either. But hey, this one does seem to be quite strong, though. Then again, it's not going to be featured in the first season of this update, so we will have to wait to see how we can acquire that. But yeah, that is basically it when it comes to the patch notes. Like I said, a lot of information that was presented over here. I hope you didn't fall asleep, but I do like doing these readouts because I like going deep into these topics and doing the comparisons of the cars and whatnot. If you think that in the comparison of the cars that I did, there were cars that fit better comparing against the newer ones, let me know which one they are, because I would love to know if there's a car that, you know, it's closer to the ones that I'm checking over here in this video. But anyway, once again, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe. Again, 25,000 subscribers, that is the milestone that I'm trying to get to. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead. If you like the content, well, yeah, why not, right? And in case you are curious, I recently made a channel for Spanish videos of some racing games and some other stuff as well. So if you want to check it out, I put the link in the description and it should be appearing on the screen right now. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.